Hi there, in this video I'm going to tell you about the Big Garden Birdwatch. Every year at the end of January, the RSPB holds a national survey called the Big Garden Birdwatch to find out what birds are present in the UK. Now, this is a survey that takes place over a weekend, and what people do is they spend an hour watching birds in their garden and counting them, and the data that is collected goes to form a picture of what the state of bird life is like in the UK. Now, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a bit of back history about the Big Garden Birdwatch and also what to do if you want to take part next weekend. I think it's really worthwhile taking part in the survey, and hopefully if you do too, it'll help you to enjoy your photography. Last year, over 1 million people took part in the Big Garden Birdwatch, and this is a record for a citizen-led survey. And it all began way back in 1979 when Peter Holden watched a UK television programme called Blue Peter, and this gave him the idea to start a garden bird survey. Peter Holden had worked for the RSPB for 9 years, specifically developing the Young Ornithologists Club, and what this did was encourage young people to watch birds and become interested in them. And he had the idea to get all the young people to look out their window at the same time and produce what would become the top 10 of UK birds. That first Garden Birdwatch was done in conjunction with Blue Peter. Now, the producer of Blue Peter at the time, Biddy Baxter, did want the results so they could publish them in the following week's programme, so that put quite a lot of pressure on, and there were a few mistakes made according to Peter. He chose a time of 8 to 9 a.m. in the morning and didn't realise that this would mean that the Scotland bird watchers would be in darkness at that time, and most of the UK was under a blanket of snow, which was another problem. But 34,000 young ornithologists replied by post at the time, which was loads more than usually replied to activities at that time. It was so successful that it was one of the biggest write-ins that Blue Peter had had, and it launched the Big Garden Birdwatch, and they did it again next year and have continued doing it since. So, children carried on doing the survey for the next 20 years, but with the advent of the internet in the early 2000s, it was realised that adults could also take part in the survey and widen the net that was covered and get the results much quicker with electronic means. What is amazing is the growth that has happened of 3,000% from that first survey in 1979 to last year in 2021. So from the 34,000 that took part in the first survey, that's gone up to 1,019,802. So we've learnt lots from the Big Garden Birdwatch. In 1979, when the survey began, the most commonly seen bird in gardens was the starling. Now, in 2021, last year, that had changed to become the house sparrow. If you look at the top 10s from 1979 to 2021, you can see that quite a lot of birds have dropped out of the top 10 altogether. And these include the Greenfinch, the Chaffinch, the song thrush and the Dunnock. Sadly, the decline of greenfinches has been put down to the disease called trichomoniasis. Now, I hope I've pronounced that right, but on the upside, goldfinches and long-tailed tits have appeared in much larger numbers, and they didn't appear at all in that first 1979 survey. Just to give you some idea about how populations have changed, the chaffinch population has gone down by 68%, the great tit population has gone up by 57%, the greenfinch population has taken a decline of 72%, but the wood pigeons, They have gone up by a massive 1,029%. The reasons for these changes are not altogether certain. It may be to do with climate change, but that's not the entire answer. There is the possibility, according to Peter, that gardens and towns are becoming too tidy, so the lack of thick bushes that provide places for nesting are stopping the birds from breeding as well. Everybody loves feeding the birds and seeing them in the garden, but hanging feeders do favour tits, and so some of the other varieties may be losing out because of this. So it is important to put out a variety of food on the ground. Even things like kitchen scraps for starlings still have their place. So if you're watching this video on the day that I release it, you can still take part in this year's Big Garden Birdwatch. It takes place between the 28th and the 30th of January 2022. Now, if you have missed it, then you'll have to wait till next year to take part in the survey, but I'm going to tell you now what you need to do if you're in time for this year. It is so simple to take part in the survey, and it only takes 1 hour of your time, and you can literally do it from your back window overlooking a garden. Now, if you haven't got a garden, that's not important either. You can go to a local park or anywhere that there are birds. You just need to spend an hour, and then when you record the results, you just say where you were when you watched the birds. During the hour that you're counting the birds, then it's important that you only count birds that you see at one time. So if you see a robin fly in and fly away and then another one fly back, you don't count that as two, it's just one. You can only count what you see at a specific time, because otherwise it could be the same robin that you're counting multiple times. So it's really easy to record what you've seen. After you've finished your hour watching, you go onto the RSPB website and they have a form there that literally has pictures of all the birds. You click on the picture and put in the number underneath of how many you've seen. And at the end of the survey, you just put in where you were when you did the survey, what time of day you did the survey, and that is it. It's so simple, and it's really worthwhile, and it helps out the RSPB no end. If you are interested in becoming an RSPB member like I am, you can visit any of the reserves around the country. You can sign up there, or you can visit the RSPB website and you can sign up online. And now for your membership, what you get is a quarterly magazine like this one, and you also get a membership pass and complimentary passes to the RSPB reserves, and part of your money goes to helping maintain those reserves. So next weekend, I'm going to be sitting here in my hide doing my survey for the RSPB, and I hope this video has encouraged you to do the same. Well, I hope you found that video useful, and finding out a little bit of the backstory might have inspired you to take part next weekend. And if you do take part in the Big Garden Birdwatch, let me know what you see, because I'd be really interested. And what I'm going to do after I've done the survey next weekend is I'll put in the description of this video what I see. If you've enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, or nip over to my Instagram account, that's @Oakden. Leave me your comments there, and you can also see lots of my pictures. Now, if you like what I do on the channel, you can support me by visiting my Teespring store. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so go and check that out. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications, because that really helps me out, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Now, I have changed my release schedule. From now on, I'm going to release my videos on a Sunday from 10 o'clock onwards, so watch out for those. In the meantime, go and check out this video just up here, but all that's left now is to say stay safe, and I'll see you soon.